Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the best wrestling podcast on the damn planet. I am one of your three co-hosts, Mr. Perfectionist Self, Odin's greatest creation, the gift to this generation, Mr. Perfection Lakota Carter, and I'm here with the guy in the chair, Mr. Magic Fingers himself. But today I got to call him Peacemaker because of this
Oh yeah.
wonderful, fantastic shirt. How are you doing this week, man? And that is a wonderful shirt. That is an
Appreciate it.
incredible shirt,
Appreciate
and
it.
I want one.
Appreciate it, man. This has been a great
Mhm.
week. This is one of those weeks where it's been awesome that Raw after a pay-per-view and then SmackDown after Raw. It was great
Yeah.
to watch. It was
Yeah.
don't miss television.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely don't miss both weeks. I feel like
Mm-mm.
too. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I think Raw, SmackDown will be definitely remembered more than Raw will.
Yes.
Um,
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
but
But the
you
the
know,
lead up to it. And
oh yeah,
it wasn't just that lead up, that story. It was multiple stories that
Mhm.
they're setting up that it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. And WrestlePalooza, I think, is going to be one of the most memorable pay per views of the decade. Um, I genuinely think that because it's shaping up to be insane.
Oh, it's gonna be
Um,
awesome. It's gonna
it's
be
gonna
awesome.
It's gonna be insane. So I guess we can start with Raw first. I mean, there wasn't a lot of talking points, but the one that I feel like is getting overshadowed from what happened on SmackDown, which we'll get to in a minute, the Usos.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
buddy.
getting we're getting the Usos again, and
Mhm.
I'll jump to that first because I think it's the biggest talking point from Raw, other than the CM Punk and stuff. But if you caught it, and you would have to have a very keen ear, ladies and gentlemen, to catch it because they were closing the show as it was happening. But
Mhm.
Jay's laying there, Jimmy came down and saved him, and he's laying there, he's beaten, he's exhausted. He goes, I can't do it, Oos. I can't do it. I need you. And Jimmy just goes, I'm here, Oos. That's all we needed.
Yep.
Yep.
And it brought chills to my body. I was like, oh my gosh, we're getting
It's gonna be
the
great.
Usos are about to whip some ass.
Oh yes.
So that was a good, takeaway from Raw. But from for you, what was your biggest takeaway from Raw?
From Raw itself, I thoroughly enjoyed every single match from Raw was
Mhm.
entertaining. Whether it felt like a fill-in match or it was a continuance of the storyline or a build up to something that's on its way. It felt like it was one of those episodes that was just entertaining the entire time. Great
Mhm.
build up, no matter what match you were watching. Because we've been wondering for a while, how are we going to what's going to happen with LA Knight? Are they going to continue his push? Is he going to end up going back down to the U.S. title for title shots? Is he potentially going to go to Intercontinental? Is he going to potentially go to tag team? Is he going to continue getting the push for the world title, or is he going to go towards the WWE title? You
Yep.
know, how is it going to happen? Is he going to end up going towards the draft and go to SmackDown? What would the case be? But then you had the fight with the Kabuki Warriors and Judgment Day, and you can see the Judgment Day starting to slowly just completely fall apart. And we
Yep.
know it's only a matter of time, but how much longer are they going to wait for Liv to finally come back before they fall apart, or
Right.
is
I
she
think
going to
so.
be the one that's going to try to come back and pull them back together,
Yep.
or how is it going to be that Dominic's going to lose his title or something, along the way? Is Finn Balor going to be the one that just says screw it and breaks the whole team apart? I mean it's going to be very interesting, but again, at the end of the night for Raw, Becky unleashed a monster that she had no idea of what
she was doing.
she was going to do.
No.
Slapping Punk that many times, knowing he's not going to touch her. He's not going to block her or anything. Like when Stephanie McMahon was slapping guys and they would just put the hand up to block or whatever. He's not going to sit there and put his hand on her. Even though, I'm pretty sure those smacks, because they were legit. They weren't little playful deals. You could hear the contact,
No,
and
you
it
could
was,
hear 'em.
yeah, and they were legitimate, painful smacks. And he just sat there and took them. And you could see on his face, like, okay, I'm doing this, and you better get your licks in, but you know that something's coming. She has unleashed, and I saw, I saw another podcast earlier on TikTok. Somebody had, and apologies, I can't remember his name, but he stated
Mr.
that.
Tesh, right?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Tesh.
He had stated that there was, he compared AJ Lee to the WWE's Harley Quinn or Black Widow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it too.
And that is that's the best way to describe it. Now she is,
Yeah.
to go basically from Raw to SmackDown, the best transition is she has returned. And the pop that she got was just
gosh.
deafening. I want to say that pop was actually louder than when Punk surprised everybody at War Games. I would truly compare that to say it might have been louder. And the fact
it's on
that
the
it was
same
in
level.
Chicago.
It's definitely on the same level.
Yeah, I mean, it was in Chicago, and that roar was just absolutely amazing. And for her to come out and just, you hear her song or her intro hit, and her to come out, and it was just the nostalgia to think that she's just going to skip out there and just stand and do her little stare, and just to see the look in her eye when she locked it on Becky. The only thing Becky knew was, yeah, I fucked up.
I fucked up.
Yeah, she's gonna get fucked up.
And the fact that Becky left the ring, left her title in the ring that they didn't show on SmackDown.
Nope.
They didn't show it. So if you saw the after, which is all over the internet, you saw the after, you know that AJ grabbed the title and held on to it.
Yep.
She's going to hold it hostage. So I cannot wait for Raw tomorrow night to see how Becky is going to get the title back.
So good.
Yeah.
Because Adam Pearce is going to make sure that she gets it back. But what's the stipulation to getting it back prior to WrestlePalooza? Because that match between that co-ed match is going to be probably the match everybody wants to see at WrestlePalooza. That on that card, that is the match, the main event.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And
I can't wait.
speaking from a person who grew up in peak AJ Lee era, because I did, this is the biggest female return in history.
Yes.
If not one
100%.
of the most, if not one of the most important and most iconic and most shocking returns in 3 years ago. If you would have told me 3 or 4 years ago, if you said, 2024, Punk's going to come back, and then a year later, his wife's going to come back, I'd have laughed in your face.
Yep.
But coming from a person who didn't grow up watching her, who has no prior knowledge of her, you're in for a fucking treat.
I watched her and I did like her, but how she's been gone for a long time.
Shit. She left in 2013.
She's been gone for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long has been Punk? How long has he been gone?
Punk was gone for 10 years. They were both gone.
Punk was gone for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
But here's the thing. Punk found out the day of his wedding to AJ Lee that he'd been released.
Yep.
She stayed with the company a little bit longer because she had the belt at the time of his release.
Yep.
And then she'd had enough of the way things are going on and just said, fuck it, and left.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the fact that she has come back with a fury on of none other than just her concentration is going to be solely on her experience because she might have not been there for a while, but she was the most talented person on that roster,
Yeah.
man or woman,
Yeah.
on that roster while she was there.
Yeah.
And don't even count her experience of, she might have only been there a few years compared to everybody else. The talent she has, and then you add the time that she's been away, and you saw how fit she was when she came out there.
Yeah.
Good God.
All she has done is just finally polish that diamond that she is.
Yeah. And so I think this will be her crowning moment in her career. Because yes, she was the champion and the most talented person in the roster. But in my opinion, she's probably pound for pound when it comes to in-ring work, the greatest female the WWE's ever had.
Because a
Yes.
lot of them, they can't wrestle. A lot
And
cannot wrestle.
that might be a bold statement, but
they limited her on her
Yeah.
her moves that she was allowed to do. They
No.
told her flat out, you can't do this move, this move, and this move.
Mhm.
You're not allowed.
Why?
Well, that was Vince McMahon era. Now
Yeah.
he's no longer there. She could probably do her entire workbook of moves that she knows how to do.
Yeah.
So I'm all for this new era to see exactly what she's going to do. Her playbook is going to be amazing.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. I think a lot of people might be looking at this match and be like, well, she's been gone for 10 years, the ring rust. She's not going to have no ring rust at all.
No.
Because
I don't think she will.
like genuinely, and I know that's a bold statement to call her probably the greatest female wrestler of all time. But when we're talking about from an in-ring standpoint, Trish Stratus in her prime couldn't hang with AJ Lee. Lita could not hang with her in their prime. Like nobody that I have seen, current day or past, has impressed me more than AJ Lee impresses me. So I am very excited for this. It was one of my favorite moments of all time. I call it the
Yeah.
second biggest return of the decade or whatever, only because I think Punk's was just a little bit more unbelievable. Like I think once Punk returned, I think we all knew that one day we would
She
see this
will.
happen.
She will
You know,
return.
It was
but-
only a matter of time, but we just
Yeah,
didn't know how
yeah.
much time it would be.
Yeah,
Especially
so-
when we knew that the feud between Punk and Rollins, we knew it was personal from the start. And
Yeah.
that's a great storyline to work off of. And it's
Yeah.
anytime you have a personal issue that they can make a storyline off of, it's gold no matter what.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
absolutely wonderful. This is real. This is some real life
Yes.
shit.
Yeah.
They do not like each other
They
in
do
real
not-
life.
They do not.
They do not like each other, but I tell you what, every time they touch the damn ring together, they create magic.
It's gold.
It is.
They work so well together for people that cannot stand each other.
Like Seth does not have no good
And
word to say
Here-
about
here's the
him.
thing. So they're so good at this. I don't know if they've patched things up or not,
I
because
mean,
I feel like if you hated somebody that much, their matches would be a lot
Sure.
more stiffer, a lot more brutal. But they
There'd
are
be more
stiff,
blood.
they're stiff,
but they look safe.
but
so-
I think
To me, I don't know. I don't know if Seth Rollins has gotten over that. If I was Seth Rollins, I would have gotten over it, because yes, he tried to tear down the company that you helped build, from this terrible thing. But wouldn't you do the same thing?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, he was in
if
that
he was
position.
if he
though,
was
so
in Punk's
you
position
don't understand.
and they made him work hurt and made him work 3 weeks after getting a knee surgery and had to work with staph infection,
Yeah,
flooding your body with antibiotics that made you shit your pants in the ring.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah,
I would
you would have done the exact same
Yeah.
thing. So
But Seth
Yep.
was in that position, so he doesn't understand why he was
No.
doing it.
no.
Totally.
And so
Totally.
and I think now we can definitively say that this era of Triple H is arguably, other than the Attitude Era, probably the best the WWE has ever been.
Yeah.
In terms of fan service, in terms of mending bridges that we never thought would be mended and fixed. So WWE is killing it right now. I said
You know,
last
and
week.
one part that you think about when you watch the Unreal, the documentary, there was one of the episodes where they showed the feud between Charlotte and Tiffany.
Tiffany.
And when that part got personal during the ring, the one time on SmackDown, and you could tell they went off script. There was a
Yeah.
conversation backstage.
Yep.
And it got fixed very quickly. And you
Yeah.
even heard straight from Triple H's mouth, there's certain things that he will allow, certain things he won't allow. And when he gets to those parts of what he won't allow, he makes sure it gets fixed immediately.
Yeah,
And he flat out said, "You tell Tiffany to go apologize for that right now. Like, we're
he
going to
made
squash
her
this immediately."
apologize for it
Right.
because that was
Right.
you shouldn't have said that.
Well, in my opinion, Charlotte was just as much in
Oh,
the
she
wrong
was
as
just
Tiffany
just as
was.
much in the
Yeah.
wrong. So I'm pretty sure if it got squashed for one thing, it was going to make sure that the conversation or the apology was going to be both ways.
Yeah,
But
so they had to both apologize probably.
right, but the personal issues made for great TV, and it made
Yes.
for the great the feud. And in that situation, Charlotte did a great job of putting Tiffany over.
Yeah.
And for this situation with Punk and with Rollins, and now with Becky and AJ, it's going to be just like you said. It's going to be magical.
It reminds me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or if you see it a different way. It reminds me a lot of Edge and Matt Hardy in a way.
Yep. Every time I hear of a personal situation, that's one of the first groups that come to mind.
So, like, that's my biggest. Do you know the whole Matt Hardy and Edge thing?
I've heard.
That's still an issue too, I believe.
I don't think anymore. I think it was for quite a while, but I think I think right before the Hardys or whoever it was, I think it was Hardys going in the Hall of Fame, right? No, it was the Dudleys. Right before they went to
That's
the
right.
Hall of
I
Fame,
remember that.
they all got together and was like, "Hey, man, none of that stuff matters now. We're grown.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything." So the whole thing with Matt Hardy and Edge was Matt Hardy was getting ready to marry Lita pretty much. Like they were like a real life couple. And then Matt got hurt for months and months and months and wasn't on the road. So then
he was on for a long time.
Yeah. So then Edge, Adam Copeland, ended up cheating, or Amy, who was Lita, ended up cheating on Matt with Edge, like IRL. For real. And then he found it out. And then it turned into one of these big things where I'm going to kill this motherfucker the next time I see him. Like, I'm ready to kill him. So then they turned that into TV stuff. And they beat the shit out of each other on live television.
Yep.
So it reminds me a lot of that situation. So I'm very excited for what they do with AJ. She is now signed to a brand new contract. If you haven't seen the video,
multi-year contract.
Yep. Go look it up. She signed it right before she walked out.
And fingers crossed that that no one gets seriously injured.
Yep.
But it's just one hell of a match for WrestlePalooza, and just the way that they're going to do this over the next few months, because it's not going to be just this one match of the feud. It can't. It's going to be multiple matches. It's going to be multiple solo matches after this.
Yep.
So I'm just hoping that they do a great job of continuing the fight, continue the story, but hopefully no actual injuries.
I feel like it's still a little bit personal between Seth and Punk. But Seth, he probably realized his work is more important than this stupid drama.
That's what I'm saying. I think they might still be
on his work. But he's still a little mad. He's going to be a little mad.
There might be some hostility there still, but I think Colby Lopez as a person realizes he's money. He's a draw. And as much as I hate the motherfucker, every time me and him are in the ring together, it fucking works.
Yeah, it's working. So
and I don't even have to think about what I'm going to do next. I don't even have to think about what I'm going to do next because he already knows what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
So the fact that they can trust each other to pull off some of those moves as well is very. The professionalism they can have with it too is just that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, that to me was one of the biggest surprises. And another thing, jumping off the AJ Lee thing, even though that was the biggest talking point, I have said for months that Sami Zayn does not strike me as a main event guy.
Oh yeah.
My opinion on Sami Zayn has completely changed thanks to this SmackDown.
Yep.
His match with John Cena before it got interrupted by the Beast Incarnate himself was honestly probably Sammy's best match of his career.
Yeah.
Other than the
Besides his
main,
first match when he challenged, or when he accepted John Cena's challenge,
yep,
back then,
yep.
that was to me, that was his best match. And now that he
So
did this on SmackDown, that's now
yeah,
his best match.
yeah. So before that, it was their first one. So singles competition, Sami Zayn's best match happened this Friday,
Yeah.
and the fan service, man, that they are doing with this Cena stuff right now is insane. Because we
I
might
love the
not get
fact
to
that Cena's paying tribute to other wrestlers and doing their
yeah,
moves.
yeah, that's what I'm
Absolutely
saying.
love it.
Like, because we might not get to see AJ Styles and John Cena share a ring one more time. But
And we might not get to see Edge, but yet he's doing those moves. And
yeah,
it's funny, like Michael Cole is sitting there saying, "Oh, he's doing Roman Reigns' move." Like, no, that's definitely what Edge did, dude.
yeah,
Like, it's
I
wrong
I
one.
love
Like, I
how
get what you're saying. I get what you're trying to do.
yeah.
Wrong one, buddy.
But,
Come
and
on.
it was the funny thing to me, and the funny thing that it was just hilarious to me. Michael Cole said, "Think about all the battles that he's had, you know, over the years with Roman Reigns and Corey Graves, just being the absolute fan that he is, and the mark that he is for all of us, just like us." He goes, "Not to mention another infamous Canadian, like he just made it obvious, like no,
Right?
that wasn't for Roman, that was for Edge, by the way." So I think the stuff that they're doing with Cena right now is great.
Yep.
I think a lot of people I see online that, oh man, this final well tour has been so underwhelming or what? No, it hasn't. Has there been a couple bumps in the road? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, will this be remembered as probably one of the greatest retirement runs of all time? I think
Oh, of
so.
course.
Yeah.
I think so. And I'm not just talking about just in wrestling, but I'm talking about all of sports.
Yeah.
I think this will be up there with, Brady and everybody else when you think of retirement tours or retirement games or retirement seasons. Cena's retirement tour will be
Yes.
right up there. And I tell you what,
And rightfully so.
the 22-year-old me is okay right now. The 22-year-old me is okay. But in December,
The little kid inside of you
the 5-year-old
is
little
not
kid
gonna
in
be
me
okay.
is not going to be okay.
Right.
And I've held it together pretty well through this retirement tour. I've only cried twice during this retirement tour, and that's when he won his 17th world title, and last night or Friday when he was in Chicago for the last time, and he was
Yeah.
on SmackDown for the last time, because Chicago is an infamous John Cena city. So many important things in John Cena's career has happened in
Yep.
Chicago. So for me to have this full circle moment for him and Sammy was brilliant.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And I
love the
think,
fact that he's, with all the extra moves he's been doing,
yeah,
and doing it so well. It just goes to show to everyone and proving that he does not have just 5 moves,
yeah,
or
and
5
that
or
he
6
can
moves.
actually wrestle.
Yes. Yes.
So like that's been my biggest takeaway from this retirement tour, because I used to be one of those people for a long time that said, man, Cena just can't really wrestle, until like 2016, 2017, 2015 even. I was like, man, this guy can wrestle. Like he can
Yeah,
work.
I mean, the
Um,
matches that he did with Punk, the matches he did with AJ
Yeah.
Styles, the matches he did with Kevin Owens, and a few others, like he pulled out some moves that we're just like, wait a minute, we're not used to seeing this stuff from him. And he proved to everybody, especially here the last few months, I've got more than just 5 moves in my repertoire. So it's been nice to see.
The question is, how long before Cena hits a destroyer?
Oh no.
He's gonna have to do something special against Lesnar.
It has to happen, I feel like. Because we've seen him hit a code red, and we've seen Edge
Yep.
hit a fucking destroyer on Sheamus, which was awesome. But like, man, it has to happen. If that's the one
Yep.
move that John Cena has to pull out of his playbook, a Canadian destroyer has to be in there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lesnar, I thought even this was brilliant. The way it was, where Sammy didn't lose the belt, but Cena didn't lose either. I think they're building this match up for WrestlePalooza very well. Because they don't really have to try that much. There's already history right there. Everybody that knows the history between those two knows that John Cena, when Brock came back, was the man that pushed Brock to his limit in 2012, and they beat the shit out of each other. In 2014, Brock Lesnar is the only person to absolutely dominate John Cena.
Yep. It was like 30 suplexes or something like that.
Yeah, it was 16 suplexes and like 3 F5s. And that was probably the Cena didn't get any offense in that match. He just got his ass beat.
That's where Suplex City came from.
So yeah, that's the exact match where Brock, Cena's crawling up on the ropes and he just looks down at him and goes, "Suplex City, bitch." And then that was the, birth of the Suplex City merchandise, which so the history between those two are there. So you don't have to try very hard. You don't have to sell this story. You already have your story there. For me, other than Edge, I think Brock is Cena's biggest hurdle in his life. So to have that come back and to have Cena's facial reactions at SummerSlam told the entire story. Cena knew in that moment, oh fuck, I'm in for a fight. You could just as soon as you heard the music drop,
as soon as you saw his face,
the
like,
camera pans to him, he's like, oh fuck,
here we go again.
You realize that after he faces Brock, there's really only one other person that he needs to face before his career is over.
Yeah.
That's The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs one more match with The Rock. And then if he wants to lose his final match to an up-and-coming star like Kurt Angle did for him when he was making his name, then he can do with whoever he wants to do it with. But if he is going to have another match with somebody else after Lesnar, because again, he did a great job with Logan Paul. And
Fantastic.
Logan showed that he's not a celebrity wrestler. He is someone who is putting in the work, and he is a full-time professional wrestler.
As much as I hate to say it,
whether you like him or not, he is a great heel. He will one day have that belt, just not now.
I hate to say it, but you're right.
He's fantastic.
He is really good.
Yeah. He's very entertaining, and he is a damn good wrestler.
Yes.
But the one person Cena needs to have a final match with before his time is up is The Rock.
I feel like that has to happen.
If we can't get Edge, then that's who I would go with. Because in my mind, there's only 3 more matches that he needs to have: The Rock, Edge, and AJ Styles.
Yeah. And I understand he's even stated, I'm running out of time. I can't do the matches with everybody I would like to. So he's trying to do the moves of them to show his respect and everything to those individuals. Yeah. But actually have the matches with a few more than it needs to be those 3 people.
Like I see people saying, oh, well, Kurt Angle needs to, no, people, we need to look at because those 3 matches that I just named are physically possible.
Yes.
But there's some matches that aren't possible. Like Cena's a big supporter of Eddie Guerrero. He claims that Eddie Guerrero is probably one of the greatest of all time. So, he shows a lot of respect to Eddie, and Eddie's no longer here. People like Bray Wyatt, who is no longer here, who Cena has talked about multiple times and said that Bray Wyatt was probably his favorite person to work with because it was so easy, and that Cena didn't have to be that guy to tell the story, that he knew that if Bray Wyatt was behind this story and he had something cooking, then Cena could just do whatever Bray told him to do to make it look right, and it would work. So we have a few people that are no longer with us, sadly, that can't be a part of this. But just to see those 2 in the ring one more time, for me, The Rock and Cena. Like I said, I grew up 2012 Cena, so The Rock is Cena's, no pun intended, final boss.
Exactly. That should be in my opinion, that should be his final match.
I could see that, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know. The more because I only watch NXT for three people. That's Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and Obafemi.
Right.
And I'll throw Javon in there because Jay Malachi is my buddy. Um, but man, could you imagine if like Cena's like, all right, whatever. I'll go to Boston in my hometown and I'll just do an open challenge. And out walks Obafemi. And he doesn't just beat John Cena, he destroys John Cena in his hometown in front of his friends and family. And
Yeah.
that's the last image that we have of John Cena in a physical ring. And the person to thank for that is Obafemi. You've instantly had another top guy made right there. Instantly. Because regardless, any of these new guys coming up, he's the only guy that I would buy that if this was a real shoot fight, would beat the shit out of John Cena and walk out like nothing happened.
Yeah.
The dude's a freak of nature. So I just don't know. There's so many. We only have such little time left, but there's so many puzzle pieces yet to
Yeah.
fit in the puzzle. So I don't know where we go from the Lesnar thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I keep saying AJ Styles, and the only title that Cena has never held is the Intercontinental Championship. So
But
why?
I don't know how many more times
Hmm.
they're going to allow Dominic and AJ to continue to compete back and forth for this Intercontinental title.
So why can't we just do it one more time, right? Because this coming up Friday, after SmackDown goes off the air, we're getting another Worlds Collide. Dominic Mysterio is getting another AAA Mega Championship opportunity, but this time in a one-on-one setting. So why not have Dom win that, right? Because number one, the championship's cool and everything, and it would put more eyes on AAA.
Right.
Have Dom win that belt, and then at WrestlePalooza, Dom can be like, I'm two belt Dom or whatever the fuck. And then have that match to where at WrestlePalooza, we have AJ versus Dom one more time for that IC title. AJ wins it, and then on one Raw, he's talking about how, I've never, this is really important to me. And then out comes John Cena. And he says, that's the one thing I've not done here. That's it. And I want it. And I want you one more time. It's easy. Now, how we get the Intercontinental Championship off of Cena before then, I don't know. But I feel like, is he the greatest of all time? Yes. Has he deserved that moniker long before he won his 17th World Championship? Absolutely. But I think a lot of people that are stupid internet marks will look at this and be like, well, Jerry the King Lawler's had 32 championships in Memphis. He's the greatest of all time. And John Cena is not a Grand Slam champion, so how can he be the greatest of all time? People like Jerry the King Lawler have put more work into it than he has. So I think that will be the one blemish on his retirement tour, if he doesn't get that belt. Now, will it matter in the end? No, not really. But I think that'll be the one misanswered question that when they have the opportunity to do it, why not do
They
it?
want to let one slip away. That's the question.
Yeah. Time and time is slipping away. Anything else you want to cover? Anything else at all?
I mean, I'm looking forward to WrestlePalooza. I'm looking forward to the AAA Worlds Collide, and then hopefully seeing what they're going to do with the Intercontinental title with Dominic. I'm really interested to see how it's all going to play out.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, because as you said, there's speculation of so many different paths that this could take, and it's just we have to just wait and see which one they're going to travel down.
I mean, I might be crazy, man, but it feels like it's already, Rumble season. I feel like we're in WrestleMania season already with the stuff that they're giving us.
They're working on getting small bits thrown in here and there to give you hints of what's going to happen and how things are going to go.
Of course, AEW has a pay-per-view on the same day as WrestlePalooza.
They do. There's earlier in the day.
Yes. So that's good for me and you because obviously Um, can I say the name? It's legal, right? So I can say the name of the company.
Uh, not yet. Let me
Okay.
find out. Let me find out, and we'll go from there.
Okay. But hopefully, we need to get in contact with some of them people because I would love to have them sponsor the show. But that's good for me and you on a certain aspect because we were worried that, oh man, we got these two things, and me and you are the AEW heads in the group. Like I think they're
Right.
doing great stuff too. So I was worried because like I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to multi-screen two shows at the same time and be in Discord. Like I was a little bit worried, but I'm okay now because now AEW is coming on it too. Of
Yeah.
course, get it through your local pay-per-view providers, but this will be the first AEW pay-per-view on Max. Now, the clearing up the confusion on that, a lot of people online are saying, well, is it just going to be on your Max subscription? You still have to pay almost $60 for it. But if you have a Max subscription, you get a discount on that price.
Oh,
So that's the confusion that is happening with this ESPN merger. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, man, if I have ESPN Plus, does that cover it? No, you have to physically get the main event plus package for this new ESPN all in one place streaming service that will cost you $30 a month.
yeah, it's just gonna cost you less.
Now, in circumstances, a lot of people are angry about that. Me personally, I could care less.
Honestly.
Could care less because I don't have to worry about it. But to me, honestly, you had to think about it like this. Yes, you're paying $30 a month, but you're also getting every UFC pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Everything else that comes with ESPN, you're getting. So that $30 a month isn't that bad in retrospect.
No.
It's not that bad at all because you're not only getting a WWE, you're getting UFC that are sometimes $70 and $80 a pay-per-view,
Yeah.
depending
Yep.
on the fight card.
You're
So
getting a lot in the package.
so it's really not
for
that
that.
bad, but I can understand in today's economy how people are upset about it.
Yeah.
You know, but me personally, I was freaking out at first, then I didn't freak out anymore. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me about that. I'm trying to think of any questions that somebody asked about, because a lot of people were confused about that. They were confused about like, well, why did they quit, working with Peacock? Well, from business perspective, if somebody came to me and said, hey, your show's great, you guys are running it wonderful, but I'll offer you, $25,000 each if you let us, own that show and you just host it. That's a no-brainer. I'm
I
thinking
could
that
swear
when
I heard
first-
Michael Cole that they were still actually going to be with Peacock, but it was going to be like NXT's on Peacock.
Yes, so NXT has the exclusive Peacock deal now, where every NXT pay-per-view will be on Peacock still. The main shows are just moving over to ESPN and a new partnership, which I think is a great partnership because when you think of sports, the first name that comes to mind to me is ESPN.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just globally.
So, and it's a wonderful NFL season start. At least for me, Andrew, you didn't have that good of a start.
No, but
but
it's early in the season. I've seen a worse start and a great finish. So
I'm wearing my Joey B jersey right now. And I will comment on that for a minute. Man, that game was stressful as fuck. Man, I was stress eating. I was stress eating gummy bears. Because we haven't had
and mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, and mozzarella sticks. We haven't had a perfect start, 1-0 start since 2022. So, and by the way, that's the year we went to the Super Bowl when we had that, 1-0 start. But I'm very excited for the future of our team. I think our new running back, Chase Brown, is going to be a breakout star this year. Joe Flacco, your old ass is still good, but I think you need to hang it up. Myles Garrett, you're the bane of my existence. But
that man's always been a beast.
Dude, he is insane. I had a good time today. I had a good time watching the game, but I'm real nervous for this season. I think next Sunday we got the Vikings. I'll even be watching the Kansas City game next week because that's going to be That's going to be a dog
Yeah, it's
fight
the
to
3
say the
o'clock here,
least.
that second
Yeah.
game of the day. So that's going to be a nerve-wracking game for sure.
So yeah,
So if we have to
speaking of,
postpone, I will not be. We will not be doing a Sunday game.
nah,
Sunday
we had to
post
postpone
next
them
week
next
for
week
sure.
because I'm even going to be watching that Chiefs game. Speaking of your beautiful, amazing Peacemaker shirt, how have you been watching season 2?
Oh yes.
How are
Oh
you
yeah.
enjoying it so far?
I am actually looking forward to. I saw a post where they are thinking that the alternate reality that he is going to is actually where
Germany wins.
yeah, where Germany wins. So that is going to be very, very interesting to see how they um confirm that storyline.
Yeah, so at first, and maybe we'll just start bringing the movies into the wrestling because starting 2 different shows is kind of weird, which I'm fine with. But speaking of that, that scene in episode 3, this past episode where he goes into that building and he starts killing all those people.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
We thought for a second maybe this Peacemaker,
Maybe he didn't
this
kill
Chris
people.
Smith doesn't kill people.
Quite
Because
possible.
the way that woman reacted when he cut that dude,
Yeah.
when
She was like
and she
shocked.
started screaming, I was like,
does he not
well,
kill
if she's
people?
not-
I don't know.
if she's not used to that, because you'd think after a while, if you're in a fucking world with Peacemaker and Batman and everybody else,
You've
you've probably
used
seen
to
a few
it.
dead bodies.
Oh yeah.
So she starts
Oh, yeah.
freaking out, and I just looked at her and we looked at each other and we was like, wait a minute, what if he doesn't kill her?
Yeah,
in this
and that
universe? Because
he's not the real.
He's like Superman in this universe pretty much. So what
Yep.
if he was this goody two shoes who didn't kill, and then his brother flew through a helicopter and blew it up? But I'm really enjoying this show. I'm very excited for the future of
I'm
this
enjoying
show.
season 2 better than season 1, honestly.
Yes, genuinely, and that's saying something because season 1 of Peacemaker is probably one of my favorite media projects of all time.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
so good. So to see the direction that this season is going, it makes me smile. Now, my dad is a big DC fan as well, and he was in this past weekend, and I asked him, did you like Superman? No.
Yeah, he didn't like it at all.
Didn't like Superman. My argument about Henry Cavill Superman is he caused a 9/11 level event in Man of Steel.
Yep.
And my dad's argument, well, what would you rather him do? Let Zod? You could have easily flew him to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
And you would have avoided millions of people dying. Millions. And my one argument, people that say they don't like David Cornsweet as Superman, number one, I don't know how you can watch that scene at the end where he's got Lex and he's confronting him and he's telling him that hurts my feelings. I don't know how you can hear that and see that and not say, yeah, that guy's Superman. I don't know how you can do that.
He literally saved a squirrel.
Literally, he fucking saved a squirrel
from getting
squirrel.
hurt.
And Henry Cavill's dumbass created 9/11 2.0.
Yeah, come on.
I'm looking forward to seeing how he continues being in this role.
Yep.
He did a great job in my opinion, but I'm curious for the next project. Who I think did an excellent job in Superman as well was Green Lantern. Because if you notice, when at the end when he's getting all the vehicles flying around,
yep,
all he's doing is flipping them off, literally just sticking the middle finger up and he's just flinging vehicles around. I'm like, that's brilliant.
So DC has a lot of good projects coming up soon. Marvel has a couple good ones coming out. We got Marvel Zombies premiering here pretty soon, which looks great. That, in my opinion, was probably the best episode of What If entirely.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see.
I'm upset they're not doing any more of those. They only did 3 seasons.
Yeah, I'm a little upset about that too. But the Marvel Zombie show should be fantastic. I mean, it looks great. It's the first time we're seeing Blade in the MCU pretty much. So I'm very excited for that. But in terms of who am I more excited for, man, that Superman sequel got revealed today, a few days ago. Man of Tomorrow coming out June 20-something of 2027. and Lex Luthor getting his kryptonite green suit. Nicholas Holt did a fantastic job as Lex Luthor, I thought,
He did.
anyway. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about the future of DCU. And I'm
He
gonna
did a
ask you
great
a
job, but
question.
I still say that Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite.
Michael Rosen,
So far when it comes to Lex Luthor.
yeah. So I'm gonna ask you to close out this podcast. I'm gonna ask you the question that has been around the internet for a year and a half now when it comes to movies and TV and DC. Who do you fan cast as Batman in James Gunn's DCU?
Jensen Ackles.
Yes.
I mean, I can't even without a doubt, it's Jensen Ackles.
Yes. Yes. And I've said that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, there is no other name that comes to mind.
Jensen Ackles has voiced Batman in a couple things. Yep. He voiced Red Hood in the amazing Red Hood under the Batman Under the Red Hood, which is one of the greatest animated movies of all time. And he's voiced Batman in a few things. And man, I could just see him in a bat suit and him standing next to David Cornsweet's Superman. And it makes me smile. The only other guy that I would think to cast is Alec Richardson or whatever his name is,
right?
Who played Hawk on the Teen Titans show. That's the only guy other than Jensen Ackles that I would be okay with playing.
The only downfall with having Alan Richardson do it is he's too jacked.
Yeah,
like how jacked he's been getting for Reacher, he's just that is too big for Batman. Yeah. Like it's
well, that was my problem with Ben Affleck's Batman too.
But he played the older Batman, which it's more understanding because he had to be bulkier because of he's older. He's get the bad joints. His suit was more robotic to help him, be more powerful and whatnot.
Yep.
But it was to protect him more from injury than anything else.
Yeah.
But he had to be bigger at the same time. So I actually enjoyed seeing Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm not gonna lie. A whole lot better than I did for him as Daredevil. But I honestly didn't think he did a bad job at Daredevil.
Man, Daredevil is my favorite superhero of all time. Like literally my favorite superhero.
And Charlie Cox has done a great job at the TV show.
Oh my gosh. So good. You can never cast anybody to play Matt Murdock or Daredevil ever again.
There's a one person
you can't do it.
You cannot.
There's just like if somebody ever says we're recasting the Punisher, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because John Bernthal is Frank Castle. There's just certain people that you see and you're like, that's Matt Murdock, or that's Frank Castle.
Like perfect. Yes.
And to me, David Cornsweet, even though it's only been one movie, has slid into that definitive. As much as I respect Reeves and I respect everybody that came before him, you can just see that David Cornsweet was a Superman kid growing up.
I really like
and so seeing that kid who admired Superman get to play Superman. If you haven't got a chance to see the behind the scenes stuff, guys, go back and watch when they're getting ready to shoot the scene between him and Lex towards the end. And Cornsweet goes in there and starts to doubt itself. And he's like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And James Gunn is like, man, that's the fucking point. Be emotional. Be upset. Because it hurts your feelings. Because at the end of the day, Superman might be from a different planet, but he's almost as human as we are.
Yeah.
He's just trying to do the right thing. And to see that emotion, the raw emotion, come out of David Cornsweet, if you don't look at that guy after that movie and go, yeah, that's a definitive Superman, you're out of your mind.
It took me so long to figure out who
for fuck's sake,
he was.
I mean, I will bitch and moan about Henry Cavill's Superman. And one thing I will say again, Superman's biggest thing is in any media ever, Papa Kent has died from a heart attack. And that taught Clark, right, that you can't save everyone. Now, what did Papa Kent die from in Man of Steel?
Tornado.
A goddamn tornado.
And I have to say, I thought the casting of Kevin Costner as Jonathan Kent was fucking outstanding.
Yes. Yes.
And to have Diane Lane as Martha Kent, perfect.
Yeah, buddy.
Because even with Smallville, of having
Yeah.
the original Lois Lane
Yeah.
playing Martha Kent, which
Was
I hate the fact that I
brilliant.
can't remember her name, but Jonathan Snyder playing one of the Duke boys playing Jonathan Kent was fucking brilliant.
Yes.
But the guy who played him in the new Superman movie,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he got emotional sitting there talking to Clark on
Oh my
that
gosh.
little bench, that to me was one of the best scenes of the movie.
It was arguably the best scene in the entire movie. For me,
Because that was
coming
just a
from-
raw
Yeah.
emotional scene.
yeah, it was so good. And she was in the bathroom as it was happening. We're watching Superman again tonight, by the way.
I'm not about tonight. I'm gonna go sleep
Well,
tonight.
you might go to
Uh-uh.
sleep, but I'm watching it again tonight.
You better be quiet.
But that scene, man, it just holy shit.
Yep.
Like coming from a part that like this movie made me cry a couple times, but coming from a person who is very close to his dad, who thinks his dad is Superman, even though he's 50 years old now and is getting older and slower, I bawled like a baby because as a daddy's boy, right? That's all we want is to get our dad's approval and to say, hey, you're doing good. Just hold in there. And that scene, and
Yep.
I couldn't imagine it coming from a father's perspective. I couldn't imagine how that would make somebody, that has a son or a daughter feel. Because that movie in general made you feel. It was one of the first superhero movies that forced you to feel. It made me feel every emotion under the sun.
So, and that's the thing. You say that, and I saw Superman, and I'm sorry, I saw Fantastic Four,
Mm-hmm.
and then went and saw Superman right after.
Yeah.
And you said the magic phrase just a moment ago. The movie made you feel. Fantastic Four does the exact same thing.
Oh.
So I was in that same caught up in feelings, so to speak, 2 movies in a row.
Oh man.
And that to me was what got me addicted to movies and TV shows in the first place, because of how they would transport you into that scene or into that sense of reality. And no matter what's going on in your personal life, for that hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever the time frame is of that film or whatever you're watching, you've blocked out the world. You're now living that reality for that time frame. And that was what I absolutely loved. So the fact that I had 2 excellent movies back to back that just transported me to that reality for a while was just
Fine.
fantastic.
Okay.
So
Yeah, man.
that's why
I
I'm
mean-
looking forward to Fantastic Four finally being released so I can watch that again.
Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure to watch it yet. So
And I know you're not a fan of Pedro Pascal, okay? But
I am.
he does a phenomenal job as Reed Richards.
man, I don't know.
And
I don't know.
you're gonna take my word for it for right now, but once you watch it, he does a phenomenal job.
So, I don't hate Pedro Pascal. I don't. I think he's great in a lot of things.
I mean, just kind of getting tired of seeing him and everything.
Exactly. It
Which
almost has
I get that.
he almost has the Tom Holland effect for me. Where I'm tired of seeing him and everything.
Right.
And I was really upset because I was hoping and praying after Multiverse of Madness that they would just say, hey, John Krasinski is your new Reed Richards. Because if you go back and look at that movie, John Krasinski is Reed Richards ripped off of a comic book page and put into a movie. So when they got, I think Joseph Quinn is going to do phenomenal as Johnny Storm. I think he's going to be my biggest takeaway from that movie. Because in past Fantastic Four movies, all Johnny Storm has been is an idiot doofus that drives fast cars and gets all the girls. And I'm hoping and praying that we don't get that with Joseph Quinn's
You
Johnny
don't.
Storm. I hope we get that
You don't.
comedic, that
You
comedic.
you get a bit of comedy, but you can also see he's actually a brilliant scientist, a pilot. He was perfect for that role.
In there. Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. That's my son. He's in the cage in the other room. He's losing his mind right now. But that's what I'm hoping for in this movie, and I haven't had the pleasure to watch it, but I'm looking forward to it. But I'm gonna bring this episode to a close because we've been talking for ever now. I want to thank you again, Mr. Magic Fingers, Mr. Pissmaker.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker Jr. himself, the guy in the chair, Mr. Magic Fingers, Andrew, for joining me. I want to thank you again for being here for another wonderful episode and being able to talk wrestling like a smart person. There was a lady, before I close this episode out, there was a lady that was doing our makeup.
Our makeup?
God damn it. Okay.
A lady was doing my makeup. Mine.
Okay. Hold on. Let me rewind that. There was a lady doing her makeup at the wedding. And I was just scrolling and I said, man, I can't believe AJ Lee's back. And out of nowhere, this lady just goes, you like wrestling? And I went, yeah, it's kind of like my life. It's kind of like what I want my career to be. And she goes, dude, I love wrestling.
So we talked. All of us talked for like an hour. For an hour, just talking.
Everybody else in that room was like,
yes, Sierra was like, I wish I knew what was going on right now.
And so to have her 2 years ago didn't know what a work and a shoot was, to being able to have an intelligent conversation, I am so proud. But yeah, man, I think it's going to be a great year for movies next year as well. I think this next year coming up is going to be insane for wrestling. But stay tuned, guys, because this podcast isn't going anywhere. It's my favorite part of my week. You know what? I'm going to ask him on here because we're on a podcast. And I got an important question for you, buddy.
Right.
When I do get married, would you do me the honor of being my best man?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
And trying to hold it in together for me, because I have a feeling.
I can tell you now, we're getting the correct size of pants for you, because I ain't gonna be holding the pants up, or I'm gonna get you some suspenders or something, man, because we're not having that problem.
Yeah.
So, see, we keep having to explain ourselves. When I went to get my suit done for my sister's wedding, they sized us. They measured us. They measured us. So I get there and I try my pants on after a week because they came in like a week before the wedding. I get them. They fit perfect. I'm fine. So I'm like, all right, bet. I don't got to try them on again because I just tried them on a week ago. They fit perfect. I go to get dressed, and I was the first one dressed because my brothers are late to every fucking thing. So I go in there to get dressed, and my dad helps me button the pants because with one hand you can't really button very well. So he helps me button the pants, and I'm walking, and I went, oh fuck. And that's all I said. And he looks over, and it literally looks like Tupac is like trying to walk on water. And so
oh, that's great. That's great.
And so it's like, I'm just like, gosh, what do I do? Because like we have 30 minutes before we're all supposed to go out there and do the whole thing. So I had no time to get my suit fixed. Not to mention that I had to go out and get the, because my sister did the first look thing with my three brothers, me and my two brothers and my dad. We did it separately. I was bawling like a baby then. I'm very emotional. I'm an emotional guy. So I was having an emotional wreck. I was watching my sister get married.
Mm-hmm.
My pants didn't fucking fit. And everybody was like, well, just do this, hold it. And I'm telling y'all what, there's luck. I'm not going to say her name, but there's lucky that somebody didn't get smart mouth because I'd probably punch her in the mouth. When she was like, well, can't you just hold him up? Bitch, I've been trying for 4 hours to hold him up. What do you think I've been doing? And so my biggest fear, I was just praying. I was like, Odin, please, dude, just don't let these motherfuckers fall.
If you were like walking.
I mean, I had boxers on, but like, I was like, please don't let these
And if they'd have
fall.
fell, I just said, fuck it, and just kept walking. Just waddle the whole way down.
Well, that's
Like,
what I
fuck
was
it. I've
going to
been
do.
trying for so long and I failed. My bad.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. I hope to God you can't see it in the pictures. So we safety pin these motherfuckers in the
Yeah.
back. I had fucking paper clips, like the black paper clips that go on papers. I had those in the front. I had like safety pins.
Literally,
Nothing was working.
no, it just kept
Nothing.
getting loose.
And so it got to the point where like I was walking out and I'm like, if they just fall, I'm gonna stop and pose for a picture because not only will this make a good story, it'll make a damn good photo. So I was like, fuck it. And luckily they didn't fall. But I literally got, we had the preacher there who was literally one of my sister's friends that she grew up with that literally just went online and got approved for everything. And as I'm walking in, and Nick hasn't seen me since I was 12.
Yeah.
And so when he saw me on Friday, he was like, who is that? And Emily goes, that's Coda, because everybody calls me Coda. And he went, no fucking way. And he like had a whole epiphany moment, and I did too, because I had no idea who he was. And as I'm walking, he's like, Bubby, you look frustrated, are you? I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm done taking pictures. Just give me I said, give me a fucking cold beer. I'm fucking done with this shit. So we walk in, do our little announcements, whatever. And I look at my sister and she like just gives me like yeah, go ahead. So I run to the groomsmen room. Literally, I rip my pants off because I'm that mad.
Yeah.
Stick my shorts back on, take my dress shirt off. I popped the buttons off my dress shirt. Like I was pissed. I put my Hulkamania shirt back on and I walked back out there. And then everybody's like, man, you got undressed pretty quick. I'm like, you have no fucking idea. So I had a great time at my sister's wedding, but it is a story that I will never forget. So yeah, we have to make sure that when we get married, I have the correct pant size and tissues on deck.
Everyone's gonna have their own lap dance too.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Okay, so normally in weddings, and I'll close the episode out after this, I promise, but I know you're gonna like this, and I will send you the video when I get the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's this thing at weddings that happen, like the everybody, like the boyfriends, as a funny joke, do the lap dance or whatever. And I'm not a very sociable person. But needless to say, get about 2 Coronas in me and like 6 Jack Daniels and Smirnoffs, and my shirt comes off.
Uh-oh.
So that was a fun experience. I had
a wedding turns to a Magic Mike ceremony. Got it.
I mean, we all were doing it, and I don't think nobody expected me to do it.
No, my face was like.
So it was the biggest pop, I think, of the night. I think I out-popped my sister, which is not something I intended to do, but everybody was like just laughing and having a good time. So I enjoyed my sister's wedding. So that's why I wasn't here on Saturday. But I'm going to bring this episode to a close because, man, it's been a crazy week for me. And I'm sure, Andrew, you got work tomorrow, which sucks. Have fun with that.
So.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Another 10-hour day.
Gosh, have fun with that.
Yeah.
And I have to work on Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and end this episode and edit it and put it up. It'll go up either Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday, sometime within this week. I know we normally do Mondays, but I've just kind of been doing it whenever I can get to it because I've been so busy. But thank you guys for joining us for another episode. Thank you, Andrew, for being here. Thank you for being here. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest next week. And we are